I want to help explain what thread portioning and the deluxe stitch system on the Husqvarna Viking Designer Brilliance really means. So number one, it just works. That's what's nice. You probably don't need to know this, but some of you do wonder why certain things do it, certain stitches have certain numbers and so forth. So I'm going to take you into a little tour with the screen and then a little tour inside this area so you can actually see what it's doing. So Husqvarna Viking, quite a few years ago, came up with a way that the machine can actually sense how thick the fabric is and how much thread is needed to go through the entire thickness. Well, on the other side of that, what if we had just one single very thin layer? How much thread would we need for that versus something thick? So they have actually found a way to have a sensor system that works. So here's what you are going to see. When you're sewing a straight stitch, so I'm on stitch number 1 right now, you will notice that you probably see, well, you do see a normal tension number in this area, 4.6. So, and that's the little symbol for tension. So if we needed to, we can make it higher or looser depending on what we were doing. But as we jump to other stitches, we no longer have the number 4.6 for tension as a default setting. We have different numbers that are much higher than we're used to. Default number here is 50. This is now the thread portioning has activated. And this little symbol shows 3 little rollers. And I'm going to show you those actual rollers inside the machine in a second. So another thing that we do talk about when we thread the machine is threading the machine with purpose. So I'm talking about when we come down and through here, when we go down this first groove, it is important to go ahead and maybe put a little resistance on it. Hold your thread, come down, and right about here, do it a little flossy floss. We do that often with our embroidery. We're always changing our thread colors, and sometimes we get a little lazy and our thread does not get deep enough into those grooves for the machine to use it correctly. Maybe it does for a few stitches and then it pops out because it didn't get in all the way. So it's just key that you actually, number one, you have to thread the machine, and number two, then let the machine do the rest of the work for you. Same thing if you do need to tighten it up, the higher number is tighter, the lower number is lighter or looser, so we come further to the back side. So let's come in right about here. I'm going to show you how you can take this part off and what we're going to see. So first off, push down with your finger just gently, and then with your finger down below, lift up. So that exposes all the inside. If you ever get a thread caught in here, take some tweezers, fish it out, get all the stuff that you got caught out of there as you go. So with the presser foot up, which it is, the thread pulls very easily. As soon as we lower the presser foot, things get tight. So if you're in the tension with the straight stitch, the tension discs are actually what are activated here. They close and squeeze. But you also see, remember those 3 little dots I pointed to on the screen? You see 2 little rollers here that are black and kind of a gold color one back here. So these 2 rollers, when the presser foot is down, they're going to come together and the thread is going to come through there. And that's the thread portioning area. Again, let the machine be the smart one and it will do its work. That's why we need to make sure that the thread gets in there nice and deep. If you don't, then you're going to have troubles along the way. So when you lower the presser foot, watch as those kind of bullets looking shaped items squeeze together on that thread, and then they can do the work that's needed to be done. That's the cool part of this machine. So I just wanted to kind of connect those 2 together. The screen numbers with the decorative stitches that are different from the straight stitch, and then also how to thread the machine with purpose so you get the best results all the time. When you're done with this, go ahead, you'll notice the 2 little arms at the top. We're going to just hook them at the top and then press down until you hear a click. It's very flush when it's on there. There's only really one way to take it off and put it on. So push down and lift up and click it back in place, and it's perfectly positioned. So if you have any questions, let us know, or check with your local Husqvarna Viking dealer if you've got questions on if you are doing the threading correctly or your settings for the particular project you're working on.